G'day guys, welcome back. Look, I'm going to play with my big tray mold today. Now, did you guys see that clock that I made with the timber that I put inside it? Hopefully you did. I have been looking for some more bits of timber. Actually, I'm just going to put this piece of baking paper over my mold so I don't drop bits of bark into it because I've just cleaned it. This is Balinese teak, and it was in a big sort of clump that I just bought from my local buy sell swap online, and they posted it to me, and I was looking everywhere for someone that could slice them for me in like, these are 5mm slices. So I actually went to my local man shed or men's shed, and they managed to do it for me. I will put the video in after this little section that I'm doing, just to show you how we cut it through the jigsaw. So there's lots of different pieces. I bought a few pieces of the Balinese teak, and so there's all these different shapes. So that one's got a bigger center cut out of it. This one's like a little bit smaller. And I thought they'd be really, really interesting. And there's a smaller one again. You can use either side. It has got the lines from where it was cut, but look, I'm not gonna go and sand them. It's a very, very hard wood. So, you know, once I've put the top coat on, I think it will be just fine. So that one, it's got a little hole in the middle. That'd be cute for a clock. Hey, you could put your clock mechanism coming up through the center. This one's a bigger piece. That was, see, the bases are bigger, and then as they get up, they get smaller and smaller. So that was another one. That was another one. So anyway, I've got lots and lots and lots of pieces, and I've chosen the ones that I want to use for today. That one's going to go there. That one's going to go there. And I think that one's going to go about there. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, after I've finished talking to you about these, I'm going to go and mix up some resin, and I'm going to coat these in resin, because you can't just pour resin onto fresh wood, or, you know, even though it may be 100 years old, I don't know how old it is, but you can't, because wood, any sort of wood or timber is porous, so the air bubbles will come out, and you'll be torching forever and ever and ever, and they won't stop coming, and you'll be torching and you'll actually burn your resin. So you have to prep your wood first. So I've given it a wipe down with a cloth. Now, the other good thing to do is use these air duster sprays. They're really handy, especially if there's lots of little, oh, there goes a bit, see, lots of little nooks and crannies. You can actually, there's a bit there that wants to come out. Needs a bit of a hand. I guess it won't matter if there's little bits in there, because the resin will sort of lock them in. But you can use this air duster and just go around, clean off any excess bits of dust, because it makes a bit of dust as well when it's being cut on the jigsaw. Some were done on a jigsaw, some were done on a big circular saw. I don't have a video of the circular saw, so that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, I'll get on to the next step. I'm going to go mix up some resin. I'm going to coat these just very lightly, and then let them dry, and then I'm going to go and pour in them. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Aren't they gorgeous bits of timber? All right, so I'm back. Mixed up my resin. I am using, I'll show you, this one, my new favourite, Platinum 360 Plus. I did buy it in the big kit, 15 kilos, but the bottles are really big, so I just pour it into my smaller bottles. It's easier to manage. So I've mixed up 1 cup. I did 175 grams of A and 75 grams of B, which is 250 grams, which is roughly a cup. Okay, so I think everything's nice and clean. I'll keep these in the order that I want them, like the little way I want them. So you're going to go there-ish and there and there. Oh, look, there's some dirt. Keep your bit of tape close by. There's always going to be little bits that fly away. So once you've worked out roughly where you want the pieces to go, now there's a couple that's kind of, see, it's a bit warped. They just warp after they've been cut. So I'm not too concerned about that because it's quite a deep mold. It's 1 centimeter, which is almost ½ an inch. And I'll be covering that with resin anyway. I was kind of going for 3 choices with the color. My usual blues, and then either black or white. But I've decided on black with black handles. I think that would look really, really elegant. And then another time I'm going to do white. But doesn't that just look gorgeous like that? So the first thing we need to do, and this, as I said, it's very important that you coat your resin. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a sticky mess because I need to do it just by hand. So make sure you got your wipes. Look at the color. Make sure you got your wipes and things ready to go to clean yourself up. Try and only use 1 hand if possible, so that you've got 1 non-sticky hand, if at all possible. Look at the difference in the color. Isn't it amazing? Now take your time. Need to go down through the sides there. Push the resin over, let it drip down the sides. If you do get any little bits of dirt, you can just get a toothpick or a pair of tweezers or something and pick them out. A little bit more. I'm going to turn it over in a sec. Again, try and keep 1 hand clean. If you need to pick up something, at least you haven't got sticky hands. But I'm going to have to use my other hand to pick it up. Oh, maybe not. So anyway, once it's coated, there's a bit of dirt in there. We need to pick him up. I do need to touch that. Look at that. Look at that mess you've made. I guess it doesn't really matter because that's going to be on the back, on the bottom. But we do need to coat the back as well. All right, so I'm just going to lay it back down. I need to do this with each piece, top and back, bottom, or top and tail. When I did my clock, I coated the timber in resin first and let it just sort of stand like that up on its ends for a few hours until it was dry. And then I thought, no, why don't I just do it in the mold and have a base of resin in the mold so it's ready to go, like it's ready to stick down onto. It just saves 1 more step, doesn't it? So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so that's coated. Let go. So now, might not be ideal, but look, like I said, those little specks there, they're going to be on the bottom, and you can only notice them now because they're on white. But once you look at the back and you won't notice them like on the back of that bit of timber there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spread this resin out along the bottom there, put a bit more in, and I'm actually going to stick this down on that resin, and that will stop it from floating. You know how some people have to put clamps down when they put the timber there, when they're doing tables and things like that, they put the clamps down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put down a little bit of resin first. Now I need to torch. How am I going to pick up my torch now? I need someone else to torch because my hand's covered in resin. Let me just pick up a piece of paper towel. Pick up a piece of paper towel and do it this way. Just going to torch that really carefully like that. Now, I think that's the way that I was going to put it. I think. You'll still be able to move it. So we'll just sit him there for a minute while I move on to the next piece. And same with the next one, front and back. I'm not going to stop and pause it because, you know, obvious reasons. My hands are covered in resin, so bear with me. You can fast forward. Go and get a cuppa. Now's a good time. Go and make yourself a cup of tea or a coffee or a glass of wine and come back and join me. We're going to have some fun today. I've been looking forward to doing this project. Look at that cute little hole there. It was really, really difficult. I found it really difficult to find pieces of timber or wood. What's the difference? Is it wood or is it timber? I think timber is more like planks of wood that you use to build a house. I don't know. Anyway, I found it really difficult to find nicely shaped, interesting pieces. You know, you don't want just a piece of wood that's just got a flat edge, you know? Well, I don't. I want nice, interesting pieces. So same here. I'm going to put some down there. Which way did I have it? Was it that way? I think it was that way. Can't remember now. I think so. I think I've turned it over to do the other side, haven't I? All right, now we'll just spread that out so it's got a base to sit on, and that'll stop the air. Stop you, well, hopefully stop you getting bubbles underneath. And it'll leave it in place. So when you come to do your next layer, it's not going to be, you know, floating around and things like that. So put him there. I'll go later on and just pick up these little bits. Although you probably won't even see those because it'll be having black resin over the top, hey? With white resin, you might see it because they may float up to the top. Just using my gloved finger to get in the sides there. All the little nooks and crannies. I'll pour some more over that edge there actually. So I thought a cup should be plenty just to, you know, give it a coat on each side and then a little bit on the base just to glue it all down. Didn't want to make up too much. So my next layer, once this has had a chance to set this resin sets up pretty quick, probably even 4 hours. Let's do the other side. Then I'll come back. So it's going to be a 3-layer job. This is number 1. The next layer will be when I pour the black resin in between all of this. I don't want the resin going up over the top. So I'll have to be really careful. So pour black resin in just to the top of the lowest point because some areas are going to be higher than others. So I'll just pour the resin in really carefully up to that lowest point. Let's put you a little bit of resin in there. Look at that. Hardly any left. I did well with my measurements, I think. Spread you out. Doesn't matter if you haven't covered everything. You know, your next layer is going to cover it. So don't be too concerned. All right, let me torch again. I'm going to have to give my torch a bit of a clean with some alcohol. Now, was that the way I was doing it? Yes. Okay, now I'll just have a little play to see where I want everything to go. See, I don't want it to be touching the edges. I want to have black all the way around. If I had a piece that had like a rounded edge on it, a very round edge, I would butt it up into there. Let me just clean my hands real quick. But I like the fact that all the pieces are quite unusually shaped and I can make a feature of them in the center and then just have a black edge all the way around. I think that will look really pretty, really elegant, and hopefully it'll look really expensive looking. You know? All right, now the rest of my resin, I'm just going to just drizzle in around and cover the base of that mold. Because why not? I've got a little bit left. I can pour it in. There we go. That is done. I'll just spread that evenly. Now, I don't know, I haven't decided yet if this is going to I'm going to do 2 parts because I've ordered some handles and they're not going to come till next week. And I think it's going to be quite a long video, so I may do it in 2 parts. This first one is, you know, how to coat or seal your wood. And then the next one will be actually finishing off the piece, because I won't be able to finish it until next week, until the handles actually arrive in the mail. So I'm thinking I will just do a 2-part. Now I'm just having a look and seeing, this is my brain thinking here, see this gap here? I just want to make sure that's not too close. So just making sure everything's kind of equal distances apart. That gap there, I don't want that too close. That bit there, that bit there, that bit there. Everything needs to be like equal sort of distances apart. And I think that would look nice. So I think that will do. This little pointy bit here, that goes in that curve, so that looks nice. That pointy bit there fits in that curve. This little point here comes down into this curve. Same with these. I've kind of tried to follow the shape. Same with these. All right, that's me done, guys. I need to clean up. Actually, I'm going to take these off. Be really careful when you're taking gloves off if you've got resin on your thumb. Maybe not do that because you're likely to get resin on your skin. Just do that. Now, I'm going to torch. I've had paper towel on that, so that's clean. Torch again, pop some bubbles. Don't get too close, you know, you've got a silicone mold, you don't want to damage it. So, quick little torch over the top if you're going to use a torch. For me personally, I don't find that the heat guns help all that much with bubbles, but look, that's totally my choice and your choice what you want to do. I just hope that this little corner here goes over the top because that one's poking up a little bit. So there we go. Oh, I'm so excited. This is looking so good. All right, I'm going to put you on, well, I'm going to turn the camera off. And I'm going to wait for this to set up. 4 hours or so. We'll come back. We'll do another coat in the black. Well, actually, I don't know. I might do it in the second video. Either way, if you don't see the end of the video or the actual process in this video, it'll be in a few days, and the reason is because I'm waiting for the handles. All right, see you soon. But you can watch that little video that I made of them cutting the timber.